welcome back to Speak Freely. Here we celebrate the freedom of speech, and today we are going to be reacting to an interesting video that I came across like weeks ago, finally getting to it. And this is just a YouTuber, not just a YouTuber, like he's no one, but he has a pretty substantial platform, and he is talking about Ukraine. Now I know Ukraine isn't trending anymore, but you know, FYI, it's still happening. There is still a war. The reason why I wanted to react to this, and I have seen some of this video, but not the whole thing, is because he talked about this issue about Ukraine and the way us, the people that's not really involved in it, react to it from all sides of the ideology and political point and stuff like that. But he said it with such honesty and transparency and bluntness that I really wanted to react to this video, because I was like, he basically said what a lot of people are thinking and just won't say out loud. So I think you might find it interesting. If not, then that's fine. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it. But before you do, if you like this type of videos, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel further, you can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, and subscribe. Another great way to support this channel is visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below, and links to all the internal platforms, my social, including my Twitter, other ways to support me, and other ways to contact me for business is always in the links down below. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Alright, here we go.
You know what, you guys? I don't care about Ukraine. I don't care about Ukraine. I never cared about Ukraine. You know, the only reason I began even talking about this whole Ukraine-Russia thing was for the views. And that's really the fact of what all mainstream media is doing. And the fact is today, nobody cares about Ukraine. Check out this Google Trends chart for the search keywords for Ukraine. And the interest has just plummeted within the past few weeks. Nobody cares about Ukraine anymore. People have become numb to this. Worldwide, the interest is also down to almost zero. And you know what the reason for this is? When I look at these heartbreaking photos, these award-winning photos arguably, is that these photos may very well be staged. I don't know what's real or not anymore. Every time I see some heartbreaking headline, I just think, well, that's just all war propaganda, right? I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't even want to read this article here. Because all of Russia has been canceled, so anything that you read is going to be a one-sided narrative, and you're never going to read about any of the war atrocities or war crimes that maybe is happening on Ukraine's side. It's like listening to a one-sided story where people can just fabricate anything they want. The latest news out of the whole Ukraine-Russia thing is that war crimes are being committed in the city of Bucha. Massacred civilians, body bags, rampant plundering in Ukraine. Of course, in war, truth is the first casualty, as Scott Ritter, a former U.S. Marine Corps intelligence officer, states. You see, the problem is the main source of the Bucha tragedy reports is a videotape taken by the Ukrainian National Police. Dozens or so corpses littering the roadway, many of them appear to have been bound. The video has gone viral. Now, on Russia's side, they have vehemently denied these allegations and requested an emergency meeting with the UN Security Council to discuss what the Russian Foreign Ministry has called criminal provocations by Ukrainian soldiers and radicals in Bucha. And actually, as RT reports, this wasn't even in Bucha. That's right, the videotape, according to confirmed information, took place in the village of Moschun, about 23 kilometers north of Ukraine. Now, here's what doesn't make sense to me. If Russia really wanted to just massacre civilians, they certainly could, right? They could just drop some bombs on some civilian areas, but they haven't done that at all. They've taken every precaution to try to avoid heavily civilian areas, and they've even been trying to organize escape corridors to help civilians to safety. So it doesn't make sense to me when I see people saying that Russia's just trying to massacre as many civilians as they can, when we haven't seen any other evidence to show this. You know what I think? This is all part of a PSYOPs effort for regime change. We've seen Joe Biden already say he wants regime change, and they're trying to categorize Putin as a war criminal. They need some way to show he's a war criminal and he needs to go out. So the big headlines you see everywhere is war criminal.
So it's very clear that war crimes have taken place.
President Biden suggested Russian President Vladimir Putin should be tried as a war criminal.
This guy is brutal.
And you know, this isn't the first time. We have seen war propaganda in the past from Ukraine, faking putting people into body bags when they're just pretending to do so. But you also have to keep in mind that Ukraine is half run by neo-Nazis, and there originally is a lot of violence in there already, a civil war, so to speak.
I didn't know any of this, and FYI, this is this person's opinion. I am not that educated about what's going on over in Ukraine, and so I'm just listening to what he's saying. However, some of the things he's saying makes sense to me because there has been wartime propaganda in the past. And the title war criminal was the same title they gave our ex-president, President Bush. And now he parades himself around caping for the Democrats and Joe Biden. So I don't know what their definition of war criminal is, but like my definition of war criminal is not someone that's allowed to have a platform and speak to American citizens. Like they should be in jail. And we know how the mainstream legacy media is once they have a script. We've all seen that viral video where you take a clip from like 100 different news platforms and are all repeating the same thing, the same script, the same vernacular, the same words. You can't see it any other way but a scripted narrative to push a certain propaganda. So I don't know what he's saying is true, but I know what he's saying makes sense because we have history of it. But anyway, let's continue.
So a lot of the casualties that you see may simply be that the current regime is killing its own people. Ukraine on Ukraine violence. Maybe that's what we're seeing. So you've got the western parts of Ukraine waging civil war on the Russian loyalists, the Donbass region of Ukraine, the Crimean area. And then you've got the neo-Nazis just trying to kill everybody out there. And then you've got the Zelensky regime just trying to protect themselves and also killing any counter-opponents in the political party. So there's a lot of violence by violent people fueled on high testosterone with nothing to lose. And they're just broadcasting images trying to get the West to side with them and give them more guns, which we're more than happy to give them. Because at the end of the day, this is just going to benefit all of us. Or at least it's going to benefit the news agencies. CNN ratings have skyrocketed in Q1 2022, driven by breaking news coverage of the Ukraine war. CNN averaged 850,000 total viewers in primetime. That's 33% more than just last quarter. You see, the only reason I read news is to be able to make videos like this. That's the only reason I'm reading news, right? I just read up all the news I can so that I can make these videos and get my ad revenue. That's why CNN's making up news too. My question is, why are you reading news? Are you making ad revenue from staying informed? If not, then what are you getting out of this just to be able to make some social commentary? Fox News also topped the March and first quarter cable ratings, averaged 2.8 million viewers in primetime, up 20% from the same month a year earlier. So for everybody who's saying that I'm some despicable character for trying to monetize the Ukrainian-Russian war efforts, well, so are CNN, Fox News. Why don't you tell those people to donate all of their ad revenue and salaries out to some charity, right? Nobody's doing that. Everybody's in here to monetize.
Stop it in there. Yes! It's like you don't really care. This doesn't really affect you. This is just you virtual signaling and putting your time on something else that doesn't really matter so you don't focus on your own problems. And I was gonna say that it's kind of obvious that he seems a bit biased, but he dragged Fox News as well. He didn't leave Fox News out of it. And he's just pointing out that you have to remember the mainstream news media is a business at the end of the day, and they have to make their donors happy. And the way you make the most money when it comes to news, the way you get the most eyeballs and the most clicks is outrage media, outrage headline, or fear mongering or something like that. People don't care about puppies and good news. That's not gonna make you any money. It's the same thing when Trump was president. They call it the Trump bump. There was a lot of legacy news media that was dying until Trump came along and saved their asses. Pretty sure they're hoping he wins again. A lot of them are dying once again. And I mean, the war or crisis is like the perfect savior to keep a news organization from collapsing. But he might have some bit of a bias here. You know, it seems like he's dragging a lot of the leftist or progressive rhetoric and narrative. However, it doesn't mean that he's lying. Two things can be read at the same time. But anyway, let's continue.
Right? Nobody's doing that. Everybody's in here to monetize. So in a sense, none of this really affects you. This is all fabricated virtue signaling and social outrage. But you know what is going to affect us is the de-dollarification of our economy. You know, when Russia and Ukraine seemed like they were going to make peace last week, it occurred to me that whether they make peace or not, the dominance of the US dollar would be dethroned. Nobody trusts the US dollar anymore. Russia has begun demanding to be paid in rubles for their gas, and all of Europe needs their gas. So what they're doing is it's going to be a gradual process. Nobody's in a rush. This is a move in stages, but they're going to be transitioning to a rubles-based payment system for their gas services. And you know, they're working with China and India as well to essentially get out of the Western financial systems. You see, the US dollar is no longer the global reserve currency. That's a massive shift, but Russia has pretty much gone back to the gold standard. They pegged 1 gram of gold to 5,000 rubles. As the head of the Russian parliament states, if they want to buy, let them pay either in hard currency, and this is gold for us, or pay as it is convenient for us, and that's going to be the national currency. We've been proposing to China for a long time to switch the settlements and national currencies for rubles and yuan. With Turkey, it would be lira and rubles. The self currencies can be different, and this is normal practice. You can also trade in Bitcoin.
Stopping it there. Okay, so it could be because like Russia just don't like the US, because the US don't like Russia. But if people are literally rejecting the US dollars internationally, that is not a good thing. That is not a good sign for the US. It just points more and more to the collapse of the United States. Again, I don't know if it's true. I have no idea. And also, I want to point out that this video is like a month old or so. So some of the stuff he might be saying when it comes to news stuff might be outdated, just to let you know. But let's continue.
He continues, Russia has no interest in dollars, saying this currency turns into candy wrappers for us. So that's concerning for us, especially at the time when the US dollar is suffering from high inflation. We didn't need it losing status as the global reserve currency to compound matters even worse. But I wanted to conclude this discussion on news and really the toxicity of staying up to date with especially breaking news headlines. You know, there's this article that says 5 things you notice when you quit the news. And quitting news can make you feel better. You realize you were never really accomplishing anything by just watching a bunch of news. It's just information porn, really. Most current events are just conversations, people just making stuff up. There's much better ways to stay informed. For example, you can stay up to date with a weekly publication that's just going to summarize what happened during that week. And the idea that being concerned just makes you feel like you're doing something when you're really just not doing anything. You're just sitting there worrying about stuff, worrying over nothing. And really, I would say information, knowledge for knowledge's sake is really quite useless in today's modern society. You want to focus on the application of that knowledge. But compared to the past, you know, these days you've got knowledge, information at your fingertips. It's not really much of a competitive advantage when anybody can just Google anything that they want. It's like memorizing the multiplication table when everybody's got calculators. You know, the old model of making money was going to school for 4 years and then working as a professional for 30 years. But things change fast. Nowadays, you have to come up to speed on a new profession within just 10 months. And it's obsolete within 4 years. But within those 3 years, you can get very wealthy by practicing that application of knowledge. I want you to take a look at somebody. Tom from MySpace. You remember him, right? MySpace Tom. This guy has just stayed out of news for years, actually. He just made his money and retired. And this is something very fascinating that I've been looking at recently. But this guy, his last Instagram post was 3 years ago. Before that, he was posting a bunch of beautiful travel photos, just going around traveling and taking beautiful pictures of the world. When Black Lives Mattered, did he post anything on Twitter? No, he didn't. He rarely posts anything on his social media. When the Ukraine-Russia war happened, did he post anything? When the whole COVID vaccination debate happened, you know, he was just doing his own thing, enjoying his life, minding his own business. And I think this is what we all need to get back to. Just go mind your own business and live your life, because that's where your highest impact is going to be. Why are you staying up to date with the latest breaking news when you really can do nothing about it? You've got no impact on that situation. And you know you're probably being brainwashed in the first place and just manipulated like a sheep anyways. And I say this because for me, I had even given up a whole year of my life dedicated to reading news when I was trying to be a day trader. And that just wasted a year of my life. I acquired no skills in that time and just read a bunch of random news that became outdated the minute I read it. And worse, the news was not even actionable or tradable because all of it was already priced in by the time I got to reading it on mainstream media. So there you go. People are just trying to get you to care about something that you really probably shouldn't care about. But that'll do for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'll see you there if you liked the video or not. Give it a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.
I really like how he put that. You know what I mean? I mean, personally for me, I love informational porn. I just like filling my brain with, like, I guess useless shit. I could just feel smart. However, I understand what he's saying. Like, life, you need to be able to, like, put that shit away and actually live life if it's not actually helping you get anywhere. And I want to show you guys something. This is my backyard. When I'm done bitching and complaining on my phone, I have all this to look at. And matter of fact, I'm staring at it as I talk to you guys. When I'm done, I put this shit away and I go enjoy my life. I breathe in the fresh air and I do Like, I live the way life is really meant to be living. So I agree. If it's not really helping you out, like, and if it's just causing you mental anguish, step away. You know what I mean? But anyway, I really enjoyed that video. You guys tell me what you think in the comment section below. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell to get notifications when I do upload. All of that really does help with the algorithm, guys. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, you can donate. My PayPal and Cash App link is in the description box below and also in the comment section. Of course it helps, but you don't have to. You can just like, comment, subscribe. Another great way to support the channel is visit my brand new merch shop. Links down below and links to all of the alternate platforms, my social, including my Twitter. All the ways to support me and all the ways to contact me for business is always in the links down below. And I also have my second travel vlog channel. I travel as a lifestyle or live abroad. If you guys like to know where I am in the world, you can go in the description box below and also in the comment section. Hit the link. Go subscribe to my travel vlog channel and or follow me on my travel Instagram. My stories is usually what's most up to date. I also have my other channel, Mika Reaction Reviews. Links down below. And it's cow again. Cow. Bye.